Hi, I'm Jennifer from Unveiled Wife, and today we have Sarah with us. And Sarah, can you just share a little bit about who you are with the Unveiled Wife community?
Yes, my name is Sarah Marley. I live in Norcross, Georgia. I'm originally from Georgia. I have been married to my husband for 3 years. We have a beautiful little 2-year-old boy um, named Carson. He's very energetic, and I'm a stay-at-home mom for right now. My husband, when we got married, he had a business that he was kind of, starting up. So we are entrepreneurs, small business owner. Um, and yeah, that's basically, it has its struggles in itself with, the added, marriage, new parent stuff. So yeah, that's a little bit about us.
Awesome. Well, before we go specifically into talking about chapter 3 of Wife After God,
hmm
can you share a little bit about what it's like to support your husband who's an entrepreneur? Because I know that there are wives listening right now who may be in the same boat, and I would love it if you could just give a little bit of insight to that situation and some encouragement.
Yeah, definitely. It has its struggles. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be able to watch your husband grow and excel and just build this amazing business, just with ideas that he came up with. And I say it's a struggle sometimes because with the business that he is in, his clients, they take a lot of his time.
Mhm.
And he does so many different things. As a wife, watching him struggle with these things, I'm unfortunately not able to take them on because he's gone to college for this specific thing. So, um, as a wife, it's hard to see your husband struggle to, you know, just I guess get through those obstacles of being an entrepreneur. Now it has affected, priorities a little. It takes a lot of time, and that is something that we are just now actually working out, where we have our set schedule. I know it sounds crazy, but I have on the calendar our time, family time, stuff like that, and it's working out beautifully. So it's definitely an adventure, but it's a beautiful one because
Yeah.
it's paying off.
And I
So.
think that it's necessary sometimes to schedule those priorities because I think it's just really valuable and important for us as wives to make sure that we are supporting our husbands as much as we can. And if that means scheduling stuff, then so be it. And I just commend you for your role as a wife and being able to support your husband as he chases after his dreams and builds his business. And for other wives out there listening, I just encourage you to keep supporting them. And I know that sometimes our husbands can work long hours or spend a lot of time outside the home pursuing those things, but we can always come alongside them and just be their support and be their helper.
hmm
And that kind of goes into a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about Wife After God, Chapter 3. It's all about companionship.
hmm
And was there something specific that stood out to you about this chapter?
Everything stood out about this chapter. And it's so funny that I was asked to interview about this chapter because this was the turning point for me. Before Wife After God, I really struggled, to be honest. I struggled with prioritizing day to day. Of course, I have a weight issue that I've struggled with. You know, being the better mother, being the better wife. Um, my relationship with the Lord, and this really broke all of those chains, every single one of them, in
Oh,
this single chapter. So I'm so glad that we're talking about this one. It had a huge impact. I read the first paragraph. I was in tears. Literally, I felt this blanket of, I honestly felt like the Lord was hugging me. It was amazing. I just felt all of the pressure just go away, and it almost felt like I just surrendered everything then. When I read that chapter, it was very powerful. I'm not making it up. It was the turning point in my life. I have to give you credit Jennifer.
Oh, well, I give God credit for, just this whole devotional and the
Yeah.
words that are written in it. But it's so cool to hear your testimony and to hear that you were reading it and felt like God actually covered you and comforted you. That is so amazing. And again, I just give him all the credit for that. Um, and I'm curious, did you ever think about the ways in which God pursued you before reading this?
I always felt um, like God was calling me to do certain things. I always felt His presence. Um, yeah, I mean, there were so many times, throughout my life, decisions that I've made, um, situations that I would go through that really I felt like he was calling me to be something bigger, something better, do something more, and really it's beginning to happen. Everything that I felt, up until now, the decisions that I've made, they're all coming together like a piece of a puzzle. The things that he's called me to do, that he's bringing to light now. And it's really something, and it's awesome. And I told my husband the other day, this is not me. The things that I am doing right now, these are not me. I could never take it on by myself. This is God. He has full control, and it's amazing. So yeah, my answer is yes. There have been so many times.
And that's so cool that you can recognize those and give God the credit, give God the glory, because ultimately that's what it comes down to. God wants you to be able to minister to your husband and say, God's doing this, and just point them back to God all the time. Can you give us maybe one or two examples of how you, as a wife, can pursue companionship with your husband?
Yes. I do pursue companionship with my husband. A lot of times he, like I said, he works a lot. Sometimes he'll come home and he'll just want to talk. Sometimes we'll have a long day and we might not necessarily want to talk for an hour or so, but I think that he needs that time. As a husband, he needs to know that his wife is there listening. I try to comfort him as best as I can. To me, he blossoms. He really responds to that, me giving him time and words and comfort and all that stuff. The second thing is I've noticed that he responds to, I've had a lot of issues with controlling like certain areas of our life, such as like our son. I have ways of doing things like his diaper a certain way, or back when he had diapers, and really just I had to let go of all of that and let him kind of take over. And I think he was like, wow, okay, my wife is really, she's stepping back and letting me take control and doing that. So I think he really enjoys that I have learned to step back.
Well, you're not alone in that, especially, in your role as a mom. I can relate. I also have had to step back and say, you know what, my husband's going to parent how he parents, and I need to respect that, and I need to allow him to form his own way of connecting with our son or changing his diaper or feeding him. And I need to be able to trust him. And so the two things that I hear you saying is make yourself available just to listen or be close to them, and then trust them. So hopefully some wives listening right now could just be encouraged by that. And one thing that I do want to put some focus on right now is in the devotional, there's a unique aspect in that at the end of each day, there's a status update challenge, which is a power statement about marriage that a wife can post onto social media. And the reason I put that in there was to kind of encourage wives who are reading it to really connect and own up what is being kind of taught throughout the devotional, but also to keep the conversation going, online, because there's a lot of other things online, but we need to be positively talking about marriage. So my hope in that was to provide a solid statement of, faith and just boldness about marriage. Is this, I know it might be unique to you, but is it something that you're going to participate in? And, what are your thoughts on it?
Oh, most definitely. I will be sharing, and I will be happy to share because wives need to hear this. it is definitely a unique way of getting it out there. I think that it's great. I will be participating in this. Um, I'm behind it 100%, and I will share it with everybody. You know, with the last devotional, I think I missed a few status updates, but I'm really, this time around, I'm so excited. I'm going to be on my game because ladies need to know that, this important stuff. It's life changing, and I am an example of
So
that.
cool. So when you did it before and you posted those updates, did you get anyone commenting or trying to join a conversation with you about
I
it?
did. There was about 3 ladies that
Wow.
from my page. So, and I'm gonna try to get more. I'm gonna be posting on Instagram,
Cool.
getting a lot of ladies because this is just, it's amazing. And
Awesome. Well, as we wrap up this interview, is there one thing that God's been teaching you lately, maybe about marriage or motherhood, that you would want to share with the wives in our community?
absolutely. Like I said, there's been so many things going on. I've learned a lot of different things at once. Actually, I never thought that was possible because we all have our little ways of learning, but God has taught me a lot, especially in life in general with motherhood and being a wife and being a friend or just an average person. Just life is so, it's precious. I've gone through life just, I feel like I've almost wasted time. I've gotten frustrated many times when I could have just let things go. Um, as a wife after God, I think it's so important that we reflect on the time that we are given. It is precious. Our kids, they're so innocent and they are a product of us. We need to invest time into them. We need to invest time into our marriage. Our kids see us in our marriage and they build up, eventually they're going to get married. They're going to have expectations for how you set, the tone in your marriage with your husband. And it's so important that you make these things a priority because that's what it's about, Just set the example, be the wife and the mother that you can be. So
Awesome. Well, I know that a lot of women are going to be encouraged by what you had to share with us today, and I just want to personally thank you for joining me, in this interview. And I'm going to be praying for you and your husband, and just that your marriage continues to blossom and continues to grow in so many ways.
oh, thank you. It was my pleasure. I enjoyed it.
Okay, bye.
Bye.